Welcome to the K Plus J Living Podcast,
where we talk about designing a meaningful home, better health, and more happiness.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 14. Today we are talking about apps that we like to use, and for me that's maybe like 1.5 apps, and Casey has a lot more than me, but we're going to share what we like.
Hey, it's great to be with you this week. We're very excited to do another podcast episode with you. It's very, very fun. Before I get started, have you ever had your cat knock a glass off a table and have it break?
Really? That's what we're starting with today?
It just reminded me. Here's why.
That has nothing to do with apps.
Nothing to do with apps, but I put my left foot on top of my right foot, and on top of my right foot is where I sliced my foot open because my cat dumped a glass. This is pointless. Dumped or knocked the glass off, and I cleaned it up like 2:30 in the morning. He decided to break the glass because that's what cats do. And there was a little shard of glass that got stuck on my left foot, and I didn't know it was glass. I thought it was like something like a piece of cat food or something.
Lego,
something like that. So I fushed.
Yeah.
Is that a word? I fushed it off with my right foot, and it was like having a knife duct taped to my foot, and I sliced it open.
It's a really sad story.
And I had blood everywhere.
Gross.
So, hey, it has nothing to do with apps. It just as we were talking, I instantly felt the pain because I put my... So, I'm really just asking all of our K Plus J Living listeners, I'm just asking for sympathy is what I'm asking for.
It's really sad. I can't make my little violin with my fingers.
Hey, we have so many fun things happening, which we'll talk about a little bit later when we talk about home health and happiness stuff. But what's amazing about this episode, when I was talking to Jennifer, I said, let's talk about the apps that we love. She goes, I don't really have any. I said, yes, you do. I said, you have like this one and that one and this one. But this actually encompasses all three of the things that we talk about.
Yeah, I guess so.
You guess so.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got?
Mm-hmm.
So it encompasses home,
mm-hmm.
health, and happiness. All three.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty amazing. So we just jump in?
I'll just start with mine because it's very short.
Okay. I think you'll find as we talk that there's more I think she'll find that there's more. So we're kind of...
It's not true.
All right, so you start with yours.
Okay, so, and it's kind of embarrassing because he's like, well, you use this one, and it's like the only one I use. So, so one that I really like is for women. It's called Life. And I do like it because it tracks your period. So if you are someone like me that's a little bit scatterbrained, and it feels like you have your period every day because I swear it was just here.
Okay. All right. So while we're talking about this, men, okay, this is a phenomenal app, okay? And so that I don't get hate mail, I'm going to let my wife explain why it's a phenomenal app for men.
Oh, so what he wants me to tell you is, so it's awesome at telling you kind of like at what point you're at. So if you start to get a little irritable, you can look at your app and you're like, oh, okay, that's what day I'm on.
Okay, so, and what did we do?
Well, so I put it on his phone.
The truth is coming out.
And it's great because then he doesn't say the thing to women that make women lose their mind, which is, oh, are you PMSing or, whatever. Yeah. And we just absolutely lose our mind. Now he just gets the little notification.
So we're kind of, we're joking about this, but honestly, from a very, very, I'm like being dead serious now. We're kind of joking here as we start this, but it helps me be very gentle and understanding, and I think it helps me be even more in tune with my wife, and be more caring, more considerate, more loving towards her. And mind you, when that time of the month comes and that PMS time comes, she's not like a crazy woman. She doesn't fly off the handle, but...
I just get a little grouchy about things that normally I wouldn't, and he kind of looks at me with the crazy eyes, and It just
and
it
then
helps.
I walk into the room and check the app.
Pretty much. But I've gotten to the point now where you get the notification and you're like, oh, that's why that made me so angry.
Yes. That.
So that is probably the most useful app. I really don't have a lot of apps on my phone. I do, but they're like the Target app or the Hobby Lobby app, things like that.
But talk about those. Those are great. The people.
I feel like everyone knows about those.
Not everybody does know
okay,
about
well,
those.
if you don't know about it, so if you shop at Hobby Lobby and you get the app, you can get the coupon on your phone so that every time you go at once a day, you can get 40% off one item that's not on sale. So I do love the Hobby Lobby app. Joanne Fabric has the same concept. I'm pretty sure Michaels does. So I just have like shopping kinds of apps. And then other than that, I just have the social media app, of course. My favorite one is Time Hop. If you don't have that, you are missing out on fun. What Time Hop does is it just goes through and it gathers like you log into your Instagram, your Facebook, Twitter, any accounts that you have like that, you log in through that app. And what it does is it'll be like on this day, and then it's every post that you've made for the last however many years you've been on social media. So our whole family has it because it's just hilarious to look back and it'll pull up, 6 years ago, Carter said blah, 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 and it's whatever I posted on Facebook that day. So, and it pulls up pictures and it's really fun. That is my favorite app. I check it first thing in the morning. I'll let you say some of your important ones and then we'll go back to my fluffy ones.
Your fluffy one? We'll go back to the other ones that we talked about. Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, so this is awesome. This is like probably one of my favorite apps ever, and it's called Buy Me a Pie. Okay, it's so cool, and here's why. This is a peek into my organization and color coding of everything. So Buy Me a Pie is a grocery app, and it syncs with your desktop also, so you can sign on online. And it's a grocery app, so when you go grocery shopping, one of the things Jennifer and I do each week is I say, okay, we sit down, we meal plan together, we figure out what recipes we're making, and then she usually rattles off the ingredients to me, and then as she's rattling off the ingredients, I plug them in. So it's like, okay, you need an onion, you need a red onion, you need some mushrooms or whatever, and I plug them into this app, and not only does it log all those things, but also color codes them according to, this is just so therapeutic to hear that.
And the reason that I'm reading them off to him is because this app hurts my brain. It is not my personality, but he loves it.
Yeah, and we can like grocery shop in 30 minutes. We kick butt.
We're very fast. I will agree. Yeah. But I would never on my own sit down and do that. But you absolutely love it. You won't go grocery shopping without it.
Yeah, and because if we don't, what happens if we don't have that?
Well, then we have my list that is on the back of a piece of mail. And then I'm like, onion. And then 2 aisles later, I need another onion. Because I go down and I write out per recipe. So I'll write all the things for recipe 1 and then all the things for recipe 2. And so sometimes...
that hurts my brain.
And so there's no rhyme or reason when I go grocery shopping. And he, after, 2 or 3 times of that, he's like, why? Why are we going back to produce? We've already been there. I'm like, well, I'm just following my list.
Yeah, so Buy Me a Pie is fantastic. And you can put quantities. So if you need like 2 onions, you can put 2 in there and it'll let you know exactly what you need. And we just love it. I love it more than Jennifer loves it for sure.
But I don't care. As long as he does the hard work, I'm happy to follow along. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to do that. So Buy Me a Pie. It is so good. So that is the big home one that we use quite frequently. It is so good. Here's another one that I love. It's called First 15, FIRST 15, and it's a devotional app. And it's kind of, so the first 15 is like the first 15 minutes of your day. And so that's one of the apps that I like to look at in the morning while I'm reading my Bible and doing devotions. This is just kind of, it unpacks an idea or a thought. It actually does not take 15 minutes. But if you follow, there's like a worship piece to it where you can listen to a worship song and worship a little bit. I don't ever do that. Not because I don't want to, but not because I don't like worship. but because, it's something I'll do in my car instead. So on that same note, another great one is called Echo. And Echo is a prayer app where you can put in prayers and put in alerts and things to remind you to pray for certain people, and you can follow that along. So this is kind of all surrounding like morning devotions or whenever you do your devotions and spend time with God. It doesn't have to be in the morning at all. It can be anytime. And then obviously the YouVersion app, which is awesome. And here's the cool thing about the YouVersion app is not only can you download certain versions of the Bible, but almost all of them have an audio version. And I love the audio version. Like today, I was driving. I had to run a bunch of errands before we started our day on this new construction project we were working on, and I listened to almost the whole book of Colossians just in the time frame I was in the car. So it was just a really cool app. Another one that I love is called Day One, and it's a journal app. So you can capture, and the way that I like to journal is I like to capture leadership thoughts and not so much journal like sappy long journal posts. It's like thoughts or ideas that I capture about leadership, and I'm not super consistent with it, but it is a great storage spot for me. And another one that you've heard us talk about on this podcast, which is Nozbe. And Nozbe is one of the support apps for this show. Nozbe is a idea capturing. It's a to-do list, and it is also fantastic. Nozbe allows you to be able to do so many cool things. You can set up things in certain projects and categories, and you can put time frames to them to know when to get them done. Again, something that Jennifer would never want to touch.
No.
But it works great, and I love it for me. So
I actually tuned all that out. I don't even know what Nozbe is. I couldn't tell you if you asked. It sounded
that's what
too
we
boring.
Looked at the other night. That's that list for everything we need to get done for the new store we're opening.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, so it captures all of it. So as long as I capture it, she'll look at it, but she's not going to be the one capturing it.
No, there will be no list starting for me.
No.
Do you have anything else?
I do, but why don't you go to yours?
Okay, so one of my fluffy ones that I like is it's a picture app, and so it's MPIX, MPIX, and it is the consumer side of the ProLab that I've always used for my studio, so I've always been really happy with their selection and their quality. But about twice a year, what we'll do is, as a family, everyone will put MPIX on their phone, the app, and then all of us will upload our pictures from our phones into one album, and then what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll order, and I'll just do a huge stack of pictures. And the coolest thing is it will print 4x6s and 4x4s. So like if you take a lot of pictures through Instagram and you like that square format, it will print them as a 4x4. And they have other sizes as well, but I typically just print a huge stack of 4x4s and a huge stack of 4x6s. And that's what last week Casey mentioned, our Instagram wall. And so about twice a year I update that wall, and we just go through and print a ton of pictures. So it will have and actually I haven't done that yet. I usually do it once right after vacation and then once right around the holidays. And so I need to do our summer order, but the kids absolutely love it. And it's so handy because, otherwise, you know how it is. You take a million pictures on your phone and you never do anything with them. Maybe you put them up on Facebook, but you never actually see those. And our kids love getting all of those prints. So that's probably one of my favorite apps that we use as a family.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I love and use a lot is called WordSwag. I just like the name of it. So WordSwag is, so let's say you take a picture on your phone, you can take that picture and you can put text over the top of that. There's filters and different things, and you can make a funky picture for Instagram. We use it a lot for our business, just because I got a lot of really cool features that you can do with it. So I love WordSwag. That's a great one. So that's an awesome app. And like I said, you can, here's the other great thing about WordSwag is it also gives you a ton of different free pictures that you can do. So let's say you're wanting to promote something, and as you're promoting whatever it is. Let's say you're promoting your cupcake business, okay? And maybe you're not like my wife where we can have great pictures anytime because she's a photographer. So you want a great cupcake picture. Well, they have like tons of free cupcake pictures or something that you can use. So, and they're just free in the app. It's very, very cool. So that is Word Swag. Man, I just feel like I can go on and on. This is so much fun.
That's because you use so many apps. I do not.
You
Kindle. I do use my Kindle app.
Look at this. You notice, folks, they keep coming out. She uses so many apps.
But my apps are like basic. I don't have any I don't know. I love my Kindle app. I know I was just talking to someone, I think it was Rachel the other day, that said, oh, I can't read on my phone. I have to have a real book. And for me, I love reading. I love the fact that the Kindle app on my phone means that it's always with me. And so I can always read wherever I am. If I'm waiting for the kids or whatever, I can just read. The other thing is, for years and years and years, I have always been a terrible, terrible sleeper. And so I will randomly wake up in the middle of the night and I will want to read. So for years, Casey and I would argue because I would want the lamp on in the middle of the night. And I know you're thinking, why would I do such a horrible thing to him? But every single night I had insomnia. And so I would just be like, can't you just sleep with the pillow over your face and let me read my book? We don't have to have that argument ever again.
Don't you love that? Can't you sleep with the pillow over your face?
Just over your eyes.
No, just before you get scared, Jennifer never placed the pillow over her face.
No, I just asked you to put it over your eyes. Is that too much to ask? But we don't have to talk about that anymore. He does you still actually will get a little irritated because the light from the phone, but I put it all the way down. Like it's to the lowest, I don't know, wattage?
What?
I don't know. What do you call that on the light on your phone?
Yeah. You tell me, Thomas Edison. Like
wattage.
like your buddies with Thomas Edison and Tesla.
Well, Tesla told me if I turn it down, you shouldn't wake up.
Oh, that's great. So I don't know if that's the proper term. I don't think it is because it's 2018.
Well, it's not a volume. It's the lowest setting for the light.
There you go. I'm with you. So if you think Jennifer's wrong and using the word wattage, you should message us as to what you think is the right terminology for that. So the next one that I love that I have not been able to use in a number of weeks since I was injured. I didn't know. Did I talk about this on a podcast?
It's a very long story, but you fell.
Oh, I fell.
You're getting better.
I fell. I hurt my feet. I had bone bruises. Could have broke my back. It was quite crazy. But anyways,
you're getting better.
I'm getting better. I love to run. It's Strava, Strava, Strava.com. It's also an app, and it's a running and biking and swimming app where you can log your miles. So if you have an Apple Watch, you don't need an Apple Watch to use it, but like for the swimming piece, if you have an Apple Watch, you can actually track that stuff while you're in the water, which is pretty stinking cool. So along with that Strava app, the health app, another one that I love is just the health app on, there's one called Health and one called Auto Sleep, but they both kind of track your, like I'm just pulling it up here, it tracks the amount of hours that you were standing, your active energy, your steps, your walking and running distance, resting energy, flights climbed, your sleep analysis. Like I slept 8 hours and 30 minutes yesterday. And also
I was reading during that time.
You were not sleeping. So, and your beats per minute on your heart. It's just a great thing. You know, I just turned 42. I seem to be more in tune with this stuff just to track how I'm doing with my health. So why don't you talk about the games that you like to play?
Yeah, more fluff over here.
More fluff!
So for the longest time, Casey would be like, I cannot believe you waste time on your phone. Not me. Well,
now mind you, I hate playing games. Like I hate.
As much as I hate his organizational apps, he hates game apps. So
I hate game apps. I hate any sort of video game. Like I like a video game system. I don't do that.
He thinks it's a waste of time. And so he's not like annoyed that I'm doing it. He
Right.
just can't understand how I would be able to, in his mind, waste time doing that.
Yes.
So it took a while to explain to him that that is literally how the only way that I can make my brain shut down sometimes is to just shut down and play a game. It's mindless. I can, being a business owner, a lot of times, and just the way that my creative mind is, it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And I just can't make it stop sometimes. And so for me, I like to play games because it forces my brain to just chill. And so, my favorite ones are, I love Cake Swap.
Plural.
Yeah, I have a couple. I kind of bounce back and forth. I love Cake Swap, I love Wordscapes, and I love Design Home. That's a kind of a newer one for me. I never have enough money in that game to be a very good designer, so I'm not great at it. It's kind of embarrassing, but I do really enjoy playing it.
But also, you don't spend money, like the in-app purchases, you don't buy more stuff, which is cool.
Are you sure?
I'm not completely sure. There was a hopeful statement right there.
Maybe sometimes they have sales in that game, but the rest of them I don't.
Oh.
But sometimes you need a plant or something. Sometimes you need.
Hey, here's the here's the encouraging statement of the week right here. Sometimes you need a plant.
Sometimes I do. So sometimes when there's a sale, sometimes.
Yes.
But the other games I do not spend any money ever. So they're all free.
No.
Anyways, Cake Swap, Wordscapes, Design Home, and then of course I like Block Fever. It's kind of like Tetris, so any of those kind of games. But those make me happy.
They do. I'm happy.
I keep telling him that I'm practicing because someday there is going to be a Cake Swap tournament, and I'm going to win so much money in it because I'm going to be so good.
I bet someone's going to message us that there actually already is one, and we just don't know about it.
I can't believe they haven't invited me. I mean, I'm really good at it. I am very good at cake swapping.
It's great. That's great life goals. Hey, this is one. If you have family or friends that live overseas, this isn't very popular here in the States, but it is everywhere else. It's called WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is a great app. It's actually owned by Facebook, just like Instagram is owned by Facebook. Just like our lives are owned by Facebook. No, I'm kidding. But WhatsApp is a great way to be able to communicate with people all over the world at no cost. Like I have my friend Stanley, who runs our nonprofit foundation down in Cucuta, Colombia, where we help orphans and refugees coming across the border from Colombia. Or from Venezuela. And I get to communicate with him all the time. You can do video, you can do text, you can do phone calls. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to communicate through that. And the last one I want to share with you is Buffer. Buffer is an app that you can schedule posts for social media. So there are things where, I can schedule things that'll post throughout the day on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Obviously, this doesn't replace real-time interaction with people that you're communicating with and talking to. I like to do that in real time, but it does allow you to be able to schedule posts. And there's a free version, and there's also a paid version that you can use. So, one more. Okay, so Evernote. Evernote is another one. It's like remembering everything kind of app. You can store every kind of file you can possibly think of, pictures, audio, PDFs, text. I write in Evernote. I mean, it's just a phenomenal app. I feel like we're just downloading so many things, but these are all things that we use on a consistent basis.
Rachel's chiming in. Come on over, Rach. Hurry up. You gotta roll up over here.
Rachel just said.
She was laying on the floor hugging the dog.
Okay, what are your great apps, Rachel Francis? This is Rachel Francis Jane.
You gotta get right in there.
Oh, no, let me introduce you. This is Rachel Francis Jane. Okay, that's her full name.
You're talking about apps?
Yes, our favorite apps. So, not only is this Rachel Francis Jane, who's 19 and heading off to Oshkosh in Wisconsin for clinical psychology, this is also Seicho. So, next time we see Rachel, we call her Seicho because when she was little, she couldn't she couldn't say her name. So I have this great audio, which I think I posted.
No, we already did it.
Yeah, I think I posted, but she's like, Seicho. So she's been Seicho forever. So Seicho, what are your favorite apps?
Okay, I'll start with the obvious, which is Pinterest.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Pinterest.
I can't live without that.
We love that too.
Been using it since I was about 12. Found all my DIY hairstylists, went through plenty of bullying for that.
Tell everybody what you were just talking about last night with your Pinterest. On how you're
the
like,
boy said to my hair.
How you're cleaning it out, like you're finding all this old stuff.
Yes. So with Pinterest right now, you can organize all of your boards. So you can separate, if you have a fashion board, you can have a shoe section, summer dresses. So,
really?
Yeah, some in the process, but there's about 5,000 pins to sort through. So
that makes you so happy, though.
Yeah, it's something to do. And then my other favorite app is the Nike running app. That one's really good because you can listen to music through it and you can set your goals, and then there's achievements on there. And then my other one is right now is Visco. I was just telling Dad about that one, and it's another.
Spell it though.
VSCO, and it's an artsier version of Instagram. So it's my current ones.
So here's a great thing. So while we're talking, so I've followed minimalism for quite a while. So when we're talking about home health and happiness, and we're talking about apps, Rachel's been on this cool journey that I think would add value to you in some small way. It doesn't mean you have to adapt everything that she's doing, but I wanted to take a few minutes to share about this journey that she's on of living with less and living more intentionally and the things that she's doing. So just share that, what you're doing.
First off, she's anti-straws. So here you go.
Not anti-straw. She's
right.
Anti-plastic straws.
Okay, so this only started about the past week?
2 weeks.
About 2 weeks. So I watched Dad get into this when I was younger, and we went, no, that's so weird. The whole, not weird, but it's just a lot of work. So I'm just in the process of doing, I guess, research on the zero waste lifestyle, and obviously our family's been on a big health journey since my freshman
5
year.
years ago.
Yeah, about 5 years now. And so this whole thing kind of backs up. Just it helps you to eat healthier because you're forced to, farmers markets, support local spots, and but with that, I think it's just helped. I don't know, just helped us to. And I'm just interested to look at it with college, and then I looked into metal straws. So everyone says I'm a cool hippie with that. And
so what have you bought? You bought a few different things.
Don't you have some baggies coming? Tell us about your baggies.
There are baggies that are reusable. So we just got a sewing machine. So I think I'm going to look into sewing, and they're just fabric. And then there are beeswax baggies and beeswax wraps, which is just a thin fabric. There's a lot of beauty stuff, which I've been interested in since I was in junior high. I got into that. So I've looked into cruelty-free stuff. And I think it's just kind of coming down to that original idea of God put that stuff on earth, so that's what it should come down to, especially essential oils. I got into that about a year and a half ago, and I think that's just God's medicine. I mean, obviously we still have doctors, and I want to be a form of a doctor, so they're there for a reason. But God put that stuff on this earth for us. Why do we need all that processed stuff? So it's a long process, definitely, a lot of research to do, and I mean, it's kind of expensive at first for some of it, but in the long run, you're kind of saving money, I think. And there's a lot, Dad shared, the Sermon on the Mount, I think. And so reading that kind of gives it a different purpose and just
Matthew
saving
5
money.
through 7.
Yeah, Matthew 5 through 7. And it's just a different reason of, I don't know why I'm doing it, so.
There you go. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
You can go back on the floor and snuggle the dog again. She loved that.
So just like the apps we use or the things that we buy, what we're talking about really is what helps you live with intentionality. What helps you live. Nora's trying to tell us what...
We didn't ask her. She's
we
mad.
didn't ask her. She's mad right now. But I think every week she interrupts her podcast.
Every single
Every week. Without a doubt.
She gets mad because she wants to be on our lap. She can't stand that we're not on the couch, that we're at the table for way longer than we are normally here.
Yeah. So anyways, that is a ton of information that we hope just is like a great download. You probably have to listen to this podcast a few times because I don't even know if we can put all that in. We have to go back and re-listen to this ourselves to make sure we put all this in the show notes. But hey, thanks for listening to this week's podcast. We hope this adds value to you in some small way because we want to help you design a meaningful home, better health, and more happiness. So we'll see you next week. And if you could hop on iTunes and rate this podcast, that would be fantastic because it helps it go up in the ratings, which helps us reach more people and which helps us, again, add value to them and help people live intentionally. Also, connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. We are on all of them. And also, don't forget, if you live in the Quad Cities, September 8th is when our brand new retail store...
I don't think it is the 8th. I think we changed it.
What?
Rachel's embarrassed. Awkward.
That was pretty awkward.
Well, the 8th is our mini session day. So the 8th is a very big day. But I think we decided to be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Didn't we?
Oh, we did.
See?
Sorry.
So much. It's like flying at us. You
should see all the stuff.
We are in Command Central right now.
So I'm going to pull up the app. Sorry, we are mumbling.
We have to pull up the calendar app. There's another app we use all the time.
The 6th, 7th, and 8th of September, the store is open, and it is going to be amazing.
And we're putting up an event on Facebook, so you can see the details there.
Yep, right after we finish this podcast, which is right now. See you later.
Bye.